Welcome back. For the last session today, we are going to do an activity, and that would be on kindness drawing. So in the morning, in the previous sessions, we discussed how compassion or the kindness is really central to this whole curriculum, the kindness or compassion. We want to kind of get a personal sort of experience with the taste of kindness, if you will. In the secular ethics or the sea learning, the approach to sea learning, His Holiness talks about the three pillars. It's grounded in three pillars. Number one, personal experience. It's something that we don't just talk about theoretically, but rather grounded in our own experience. Second, common sense, something that makes sense. And then third, scientific evidence, drawing from what the science points to. So this activity is for us to get personally in touch with what the kindness feels like, what the kindness looks like. What happens when we either experience ourselves receiving kindness or sharing kindness with others, or when we witness someone else is being kind to someone else. How that was felt, how you experienced, what was that experience? So what I would like to request here is just take 2 minutes, and you can close your eyes, or you can keep your eyes open if you want to keep it open. But really, see if you can connect with a moment in your life when you actually received kindness or gave kindness to someone at a critical moment, or you saw someone sharing kindness. And as much detail as you can, where, what, who, and what manner, what happened, and what you felt particularly, what was your own experience. If there was some feelings, perhaps even if you can name it, where you felt, what was that feeling like. So take a couple of minutes, that I would like to invite you to reflect on that, either with eyes closed or not, but please take 2 minutes, and after 2 minutes I will indicate. This one, kanzu nyingje rimochi arwal, degi godun de kenso. Nana chulo la mate pe sangchu shuti tamba dela kyamnamichi ki kawa sungwa ta chulo mate pe sangchu shisha sadi. Chikde soso gergi nyamnyo che. Chikde the common sense shuti tamba khandeskiru common sense la chesungi nyamnyo che lolosun. Ani sumba dela senriki tak thone pangda khare yomeche. Dade chego de nganzo ta susu chi nyamnyo thone jamse de khandes chi ko te jamse susu la joa ina re susu shen la pa tweba ina re ya dimena chi gangsa ni put ta chi jamse chi ki la chi jamse thone tak chi ani tweba de susu thwa o tene ki kaptela susu la chwa khare chungso. 다 소아디 즉 뭐소야다 아니 데네기 터네 즉 데네기 잠세 즉 중화다 쪄바다야 즉 통화 데네기 터네 다 소아디 즉 중화 디 터네 다 같이 잠세기 즉 표현다 그거 즉 게치 중 간데 영어에도 수소란 게 라트야기 제도 소소 즉 녀야 터네 중화기 제도 다즉 알레 잠세디 소소 gergi nyamnyonta dene dus nangwa de gechimbo insare chetande inde alakama ni getin la number 2 ge chen tsumba ina re ani a tsumnam des madewa yana che ma tsumna tigre ina chi dene ki netan ti chik semla ta kan che temba na ro na ten tu bai na ta ya chik kap che tem ma tu bai yong se ga se o di chung na ne ga min tu ga kan ta chik chik dus chik tu la shak tu bai na ka se chik ge ge ta chik tene ki cham se ki ne ga jung sa ti ka tu chung me ka wa la chung me su ta nyam tu chung me ani chik de kap te la na min nam yo la so pa ta de so ta chik jamse chik te tan de khandes chu te me ot te bai na re su so la chung ai na re de kap te la ne slak par do ta su so la sem da choa khandes chung sung ot de chik ale shawa chik na ro na ka ma ni ring la tu che tenet kamang nga trus ring la that chi jamse ngo so chi jwa wat na pa che chi su jwa ina re pa to ba ina re an chi dus thon ina re de remelam la chi pa chi tirana remo ki thone drawing chene chedan de an chi remo ya ko me wa ina nenga ya ma tan te remo ten tur che ta ne ke ma re chi remo shambala te a ke ma re ko chi ma te na de re gesi an remote an ya gut chik yong men to na yik to ne ko sha na de re yi to ne ti che chik de gi shuba na shin re jam se pa chu chwa ina re pa to ba ina re ya chi thon ina de gi ne ka chik ne dan khan de chik chung so ani so so la so kha re chung so de gi to ne chik pen do kha re chung me ta so so la ina shin la ina da ya chen ba thon ina ot ta chik remelam ne te bai na re ya chik remo ya me na yik to ne ti na na de re kama shi na truks chik dus thole dus na ro na so next we're going to draw that experience to put that experience in a drawing and it is not a contest for drawing so don't worry about if the drawing you don't really have a good drawing skills but if you don't still don't want to draw, you are welcome to write it down. It's about expressing it, putting it as something in concrete, writing or in drawing. But once again, as I mentioned earlier, the idea is to really capture that experience. What was that? Where was that? What was the context? What did you experience? What difference it made, if any, to you or to the person who received, if you gave to others, or in the context of if you just witness what happened. If you could just capture that in drawing or in writing for next 5-6 minutes. Thank you. And the next part of this activity is sharing, of course. And this part we will do in trio, the three, instead of just pairs. If you could make a group of 3, and please feel free to move around. If you need to stand up, you can do that, so make it easier to get in the group of 3s. But each person, please make sure that each person has an opportunity to share his or her experience. And we will maintain the mindful listening part as much as we can, as we share. But when you are listening to someone who is sharing, what you want to pay attention to is that how are you relating to this person's experience? How are you relating to this person's experience? Whatever that kindness was, is that something that you are able to relate to? What do you feel, as you listen to someone's experience of kindness? Perhaps as you are listening to, also see that what is the value, what would be the value of being aware of the kindness. So, 3, as you are listening to, listen mindfully But as you listen to it, just see if you are or how you relate to this person's experience. How do you feel yourself, as you listen to what is happening in your own body, to your own feelings? And then what is the benefit, that of being aware of that kindness? What might be the value of being aware of kindness in your own context or to someone else's kindness? What might be the value of this awareness itself? So those three things. That ale nyingdon chi shuba ina that the jogo digi gomba sumba that masona sumba de la nganzo mi sum che ani ruga mi sum che mi ni mai ba sum ana mo ya shang ko ina ya shan na chik ruga so tap de bo yoang gi che tu ani kap de la ko denshe tembe ko ne nya di yin ba che that ko mi sum ga lo la chik suya ki ko kap di yo dos na ro na te ya mi chi ki ba gyuring bo sung cha ina shamba lo ko ka ra ma wa to de tanda 제거 데 렘바텔라 페제카마 쭈쭈니스직 도샤기 제단 데나라 제 펜트 쉐레 나데 잠바다 생켄 속에 아니 파 센트 잠바다 파조기 제 잠닝제기 냠냠 거도 소연도 잠바 아니 베게 수수다 파주 잠닝제 걸로 손대 잠바 디톨라 알레직 samchu senama to tege thola tacho netan khande chi sige to ade susala chorwa khare yong gos chungso tik phajo gi jamning ji kor shete tamba susala chowa tate kala tate tanda ran susala chi chowa khande chi yong ye me tene chi jamning ji netan di chi goto senare chi digi netan shebe thone 아니 펜도 가려 연구에 살에 펜도 가려 연 살에 시에바이나 제 되네기 내수디 세워지 차연데 수수기 디나레 셴바기 셰연데 제 잠진지기 내단 디 세워지 다고도 뭐뭐진다 제 내단 디 세워지 연데 아니 데라 펜도 가려 살에 좋아 그거 가려 살에 저 숨기 전에 데 숨디 제 실을 샤네 또 세러나스 쉬어인다 어때 나저 가마 중니스 직샤기 and they let number say shana tap de na sharona shwai. So we will take about 12 minutes for this, so each one has an opportunity to share for about 4 minutes each. Thank you. Tene ya sharo shango ko na sharona mi sum kiro khasora.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you for sharing. If you would come back to your table, please. This group's like, we're ready. It's so close to the end. Let's do it. So we have come to the very last part of the workshop today together. This was the last activity that we're doing together. The only thing after this will be a very short feedback form for the day. So you can let us know what you liked and all of that, what you want to be different. So before we get to that, we need to kind of reflect on the experience that we just had. So you had a moment first to recall kindness, either that you gave to someone, someone gave to you, or that you witnessed, right? And think about what that experience was like. And then you drew a picture of it, right? Step 2, draw a picture. And then you got into groups and shared your drawing and your experience of kindness with your group. Okay, great. So now I would like to ask you about your experience doing that activity. Any feelings that came up or insights that you had?
Anyway, yeah, it was actually a mixed feeling. When I was actually contemplating on the incidents of giving kindness, I felt a pure comfort. And also a bit of saddening moments, but in a positive way. So sadness has actually, I think, two meanings. If you are beaten by some people, you feel sad as well. If your, relatives or your friend died or bad things happened to him, you become sad. But it is very stressful. But when you remember about, giving kindness or receiving kindness, at that time, I don't remember, I'm not sure whether this is proper term or not, sadness.
Yeah.
Hello. Is it the right term?
Yeah.
Not sure about it, but yeah.
Yeah.
This is
Feeling blue.
Feeling blue.
I felt sad, but in a positive way. Behind this saddening feeling, there is happiness also.
Yes.
Yeah, and I feel contented and complete. But it is very sober feeling. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So this comes up every time we do this activity, this idea of sadness, also connected somehow to compassion or kindness, right? Because how many other people experienced it, that they had some sadness come up? Anyone else? Yes? Yes, here and there? Okay, a lot of people, right? So when we recall a moment of kindness, it can also be connected to some sad moment or some difficult situation that someone then helped us with and comforted us in some way. We'll be learning more about this tomorrow, but for now, just know that we can use the feeling that we get in our body when we think about kindness as a comfort, which is the word you said. It was comforting. If we focus on that aspect of it, that really made us feel good and helped us. It can be turned into something else if we focus on all of the pain and the difficulty, right? But we know both are in there. This is called a mixed resource, because we use our recollection of kindness and compassion as a resource for ourselves, to help ourselves feel comfort whenever we need it, anytime. This act of kindness is with you now, right? You experienced it. You don't have to re-experience it to have it benefit you. All you need to do is bring it to mind. Bring it back up into your heart, bring it back up into your mind, and it can actually support you and help you without it happening again ever. Just one time, which is amazing, the power of our mind. So this is a common experience. Thank you for bringing that up. Would anyone else like to share what it was like to even discuss your moment of kindness and hear from other people? Yes, back there.
So the first question was like, how do you feel when you share about kindness, right? So I felt that kindness is powerful. Unlike weapons and money, fame, kindness is powerful. Because as he shared that he felt a urge to cry when he listened. So this is the power. I learned that this is like, when I listen to other story, this is like experiential learning. Not direct experience, but listening to others, and then this is like, and I found that kindness could change others' life. I felt that it's so powerful that it could change someone else's life. And then kindness never gives suffering. It always gives happiness. And the second question you put is benefit from others. What you benefit from? When I listen to others' kindness, I feel admiration for them. Like I feel very grateful, even though it's not related to me, but I feel admiration, grateful, appreciation, gratitude, everything. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, kindness is so powerful. It's so powerful, in fact, that this kindness drawing activity is the first learning experience in our middle school curriculum that you have on your table. It's in the very first learning experience. And I think part of what we intend to do is draw on that power of kindness to experience, as you said, what it can do for us and for others if we can bring more of that into our lives and connect with it. So, thank you for your comment.
May I
Yes.
just want to stand up and say. So when I was listening mindfully to a story that's shared by one of our partner about his sister rescued him from drowning during a very harsh winter in a lake. So through that, what I felt is that to show kindness or to do any kind of act of kindness really needs a courageous mind. So unless you have some kind of courageous mind, you won't be able to show any kindness to others. So kindness really requires an encouragement that I've felt. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, you must be reading our C Learning materials because we talk about compassion as also being courageous compassion and what that looks like.
I want to share my experience. I think that kindness is a very root of compassionate mind. As the sutra it says, "Ningji sahi chanbe chulinji, changsen jinsun zobe drebucho, tamji chanbe xiao chacha." The kindness is the root cause of the compassionate. So, on my own case, when I was about 10 years back, when I was passing through a street in Bombay, and I saw there was a chicken shop, and at the same time, in front of them, a truck filled by live chickens. And some of them were broken their legs and lay down on the roadside. So instantly I felt very kindness. Since then I abide and given up to eat chicken. Since then that it helps me to generate some little kindness from me also. So I think this is very important. I can say, what I must say, practice. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So there you were connecting this emotion that came up within you of kindness, this feeling of kindness and compassion, and then just telling us how it impacted your action. So we will discuss this more tomorrow as well. Compassion, having a compassionate sort of frame of mind, and then also how that can lead to action and changes in action. That was a good example.
What I learned from this sharing is that kindness has different facets. Kindness towards animal, towards your friends, your family members, and towards strangers. Actually, what I learned from this discussion is that kindness is something every sentence being longed for, and something without which we cannot thrive. So it's very important and something. It is like if you give kindness, you will receive it back. Like if you give respect, you will get it back. If you don't give, you don't even expect of receiving from somebody else. So yeah.
Thank you. That sounds connected to interdependence as well. Uh-huh. Yes.
Okay. When we are speaking about kindness and love, I feel that we are creating a bond between each others. sense of closeness, This is what I feel. And we have shared our feelings that we had experienced in our daily life. And he also shared me his own story about the kindness. And she also discussed about her own experience. And we have a common thing that, we feel that, when we are speaking about, when we are sharing about the kindness and love, it creates, like a bonds between each other. This is what I feel. Because I share my story, because when I was young, I became a monk. I was 8 years old at that time, My teacher, actually his teaching is so nice, wonderful, The way of his teaching is brilliant, very inspired. But every day, he never smiled, and then all the time he scolded me, And I feel that, this is very angry guy, This is what I feel. So one day, when I was taking a nap after the lunch, my father visited to the monastery to meet me, and my father and my teacher, they were talking next to my window. And I woke up, then I found they were speaking each other. Then I just listened to them, what they are talking. Then my teacher was saying to my father that, your boy is very nice, he is, his mind is very sharp, he is a brilliant student. He was saying like that. At that time, since then, I feel something very different to my teacher. Since then, I have created a bond with my teacher. That kind of bonding is unbreakable, This is love and kindness. That what I experienced in my life. This is what I wanted to share. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. There's actually physical reasons why we feel this bond. There's the bonding chemicals called oxytocin. It's released in our body when we feel close with people, and physical touch is one way we can release that chemical, but also recalling compassion and kindness and sharing moments of kindness and compassion also releases that chemical in our body, and we're born that way. We're designed that way, that we could get that sense of closeness. Our biology has it for us, so that's wonderful that we can connect.
So mentally, you could say that you have developed a sense of respect to the others.
Yes, sure. It can also lead to deeper respect. Okay, we have time for one last comment.
I wanted to share about my feeling, but while I was talking about I've talked about kindness which I've witnessed. So while I was sharing it, I felt kind of disappointed in myself, because at the time I had an opportunity to help, but I didn't. So yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, we're going to talk about self-compassion tomorrow, so we can help you with that. Because, when you witness kindness, it's really wonderful to reflect on the kindness of others and the impact that it's having. And then also you can use that to find encouragement. So maybe that time, for whatever reason, there could be many reasons why you didn't engage, but maybe next time it gives you more motivation and ideas and encouragement about engaging. So it's okay, please direct some self-compassion for yourself. That's really important as well. So this kindness activity is something that we do, as I mentioned, lesson 1 in our curriculum, but actually we don't leave it at lesson 1. We use it many, many, many times, because we can always, gain more insight and more feelings of kindness and compassion towards others when we share our stories with each other, when we share these moments of compassion and kindness. And then we can get in touch with how we feel about that. It makes us feel good. So we will continue with this conversation around compassion and kindness tomorrow, so we'll look forward to starting with you again. 8:30, yes, tomorrow morning? And right now, all we request from you is that to end the day that you provide us with some feedback. So we have just a very brief feedback form. You can write in Tibetan or English. So we have people who can figure this out. Does anyone know Hindi? There was someone speaking in Hindi. Yes? Okay. So please just fill those out, and when you're done, if you just make a pile, leave them on your table, we'll come collect them. And dinner is at 6 o'clock? Is that right? 6 o'clock. And we want to thank you for the day today and all of your kindness and compassion and mindful listening and all of that. So thank you.
Well, it's very, very nice to be with all of you. I'm very excited about this workshop and excited to be with you for the next several days. I heard a little bit about where you're from, and it's wonderful that you're able to be here and take this time to learn together. So we really hope to create a warm sense of community and family as we learn together over the next couple days. So a warm welcome from me, and just so you know a little bit about who I am, my name is Krista Tanari, and I'm with the Sea Learning Program at Emory University, and my work there involves mostly helping to develop our curricular materials, as well as doing training and developing our training model as we move forward. So for the past many years, I've been working with teachers very closely to help them implement social and emotional learning within schools in the United States and other countries as well. And something personal about me is that both of my parents are teachers, my mother and my father. My father became a university professor, and my mother was a kindergarten teacher. And I have two sisters, and they're both teachers. I have a twin sister, and she's an English teacher, and she works with middle school students. And I have a sister who's 2 years older, and she works with first and second graders, and especially children who have special needs. So it's my special privilege to work with educators because, of course, I believe education is the most important job in the world, and you're all doing it. So thank you so much for the work that you do. Thank you. We are going to be starting this morning with an introductory activity before break, and then maybe a little bit about what the rest of the several days hold. We'll review the schedule with you to give you a sense of what you can expect. But to warm us all up, we have an activity planned for you. And we do have a bunch of activities over the next several days, which means you won't always be sitting at your table, and you won't always be listening to us. Sometimes you'll be moving around and meeting new people and speaking in smaller groups. So we want to invite you to participate in that as you feel comfortable. So to get us all warmed up, we have our first activity, and it has 3 parts. The first part says, share one feeling. Not yet. Let me give the rest of the instructions. The second part is sharing your name. And what do we mean by this? We'd like you to share. I'm falling off. Okay, excellent, thank you. And we'd like you to share a little bit about your name with the small group that you'll get into. And this could be the meaning of your name. It could be a story about how you came to have the name you were given. Some of you have a name that has a family connection or a spiritual connection. So we'd like you to just share with others a little bit about your name. And then after that, we have another activity called Who Are You, which we are not doing right now. I think we'll stick with those first 2. Okay, so what we would like you to do is find a group of 3 people. And once you get into that group of 3 people, then you can share how you're feeling this morning, and then go ahead and share that story about your name with each other. Okay? So, is everyone clear on the instructions? Okay, yes. The feeling first? Okay. Okay, little modification. We're going to actually hear from everyone first. Just the feeling. One word that expresses your feeling. So we can stand up and
제고 당부제와 제고 당부제는 수수육이 서로와 아니 단다 가르쳐 신거제와 단다 가르쳐 신거디 아니 직직이 나로라 모제시 그디 완전 상관도 상지딩이 그러니 미수수 소수 가르쳐 비어가 되는 것이야.
Okay. Sure. I have to think about it. I'm feeling excited. Feeling excited.
I feel very curious to learn something.
Good morning to everyone. I'm feeling nervous as well as I'm very excited.
I am being nervous.
Good morning, everyone. I feel a little bit absent here right now. My mind is wandering outside, thinking about the upcoming examinations of my students. I'm very, very excited. I'm kind of feeling mixed. I'm excited and at the same time a little bit overwhelmed.
Good morning to all. Same, I'm feeling excited, and along with that, I'm very happy because the weather is very fine over here, and I came from Manali and that was so cold, so happy and excited.
Summer test today, I feel nervousness as well as a little bit excited to learn the new subject, and sometimes I feel very happy to be with participate this workshop.
Good morning, I'm feeling hopeful. Good morning, I'm feeling a bit of curiosity.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing your feelings. How many people felt excited? Shake your right hand if you felt excited. Shake your right hand. Okay. How many people felt nervous? Shake your left leg. Put your hand on your belly. If you felt tired, hot, cold. Yeah. I noticed some people share physical feelings and some people share emotions. How many people felt a whole mix of emotions? You could kind of turn your head around. You felt a whole mix of emotions. Shake your head around. Yeah. If you feel any tension, you can try to get that out. Right? Okay, so all of the emotions are welcome here. No problem. Emotion comes with you. And we're very glad you're here. So you're here and your emotions are here, and so we're very happy for all of that. We'll be kind of exploring emotions a little bit more together. And we'll also be checking in with you about them from time to time. And if there's anything that we can do as a group that will be helpful to you, we'll try that as well. Some people mentioned they were nervous speaking in front of a group or speaking English, and so we'll try to do things to help you feel more comfortable. And also, please know that we welcome your questions and your comments, and there's really no way to make a mistake. You know, maybe one way to make a mistake. Maybe if people don't treat each other kindly, we might consider that a mistake. So kindness is all we really, ask. And then the rest of it, then we can learn together, and don't worry about any mistakes. Okay? Okay, wonderful. So we are now going to have you split into groups of three, and share with one another a little bit about your name. Okay?
你拿我的是名，看你们这些名的，看的是头发的。
민디단 제외다 연수소는 양용들이 이유는 그뒤에 인수이 시를 계속 세부 차선.
Okay, all right, wonderful. You'll hear a musical sound when it's time to be done with your conversation, but we'll give you about 5 or 6 minutes to have your conversation.
Through this activity, what I've learned is, so since we are all teachers, so when you are in the class, then you should exactly the same way as through the introductions, many of us said that we feel nervous, excited. So through that I understand that how much our student might be thinking or feeling. So it's so important for us to really understand the feelings of the children before we start any kind of lesson in the class. Thank you.
Thank you. What a wonderful insight that we're also experiencing this now as a teacher, but as a student in this context. And so then having some understanding and empathy about how our students might feel. That's really important. Thank you. Would anyone else like to share?
Good morning.
Yes.
After doing this activity, I want to share that I felt that some commonness is there. Like whether that is Indian society, whether that is Tibetan society, are all the names which we got. Maybe that has given by our parents or some religious meaning is there behind our name. So I thought there is a connection between all the religions. There is a connection between all the societies. So it's not like this, we are Indian, we are Tibetan, so there is no same. So I feel this similar and I feel connection and I feel connectedness. So that's it, thank you.
Thank you.
결국 교시에는 하나님 인지도에 참아서만 대시 계도스만 되도록 교수님을 마시고 지난 무슨 남기 파수 민지에 나에다 남기 그대로에 다네에서 믹스해서 지금 좀 민다 제일 수수 caption 마치 파수 대시 슈에기 수수 샘팅 당연히 민모를 더 주셔봐 엔젤 파수 제일 톤에 수수 샘이 좋아해 민다 제일 봐 이게 그냥 제일 주서 있는 쿨러야 수수기 샘이 좋아해 이 파수지 지금 로다 이어져야 지난번 뭐니 모두 시스 딩에는 뭐시 그래대 그냥 이 루키드 파수 지 제주 쉬운데 지금 로다 이어져야 되니까 초아디 더 도시 리에로 지금 최고의 균에 지금 수준 쉬어요.
Right, that feeling of connection. Yes.
I also want to share that you
Let's go.
Daga nazo kazi moja ziada masiani sabati kadi misa oshiro masiani soso gisomsi mumjima tusia kundi sema mamlaji reisi do chada imamra dengan ye nani reisi do chasuji.
So we not only
To notice the change that you feel based on what we've done together. Thank you.
Good morning, Joel. Actually, it's not our tradition to delve much into understanding our name, the meaning of our name. And before the inception of this activity, I was looking for some commonality. But again, the way he explained, how he obtained his name was completely unique, was completely different. And that was quite, like a good experience. I learned something new that I never heard before in my life. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
표현해 주셔서 근데 남자들이 제일 제일 미학생 남자 좋아지 그렇게 쓰면 남기나 무슨 강사 수술이야 나 이제 미성은 미달로 수술을 지금 제일 제일 미만 뭐지 소화성 집을 봐 뒤에서는 몇 천만에 깡해지기 유되어 제 깡해지 참 폐쇼 치고 있고 이게 차고
So through these activities, I got the feeling that usually when we look at people, we see them as different individuals. But through these two activities, I realized that there are so many things that are common, that feelings that we share, experiences that we have. So this gives me a new perspective of seeing commonality amongst the different students here.
Thank you. Okay, so thank you for sharing about that. It's just one activity, but it brought out so many different points of learning and understanding. So I hope maybe you'll feel comfortable using that activity with your students. We'll be doing some additional activities to help you get to know one another better on a deeper level and can communicate and connect with them and understand our common humanity. So thank you for doing that together. I want to briefly review our objectives for this workshop and then ask you to identify one of your own objectives. So we designed this workshop to really help educators and people working with young people a deeper understanding of the framework, which is in the companion guide, which you've all received. And we really want to help you feel more confident, more motivated, more excited about bringing C-learning to your students. So it's our hope both to connect with you personally around your own understanding of what C-learning is, and also to share with you the methodology and the ideas and the techniques that you can then bring to your classroom. So that was really the basic objective of the next several days together. Now, I understand you work in different schools, maybe with similar kinds of students, maybe sometimes with different. Some of you might be coming with a particular burning question about the subject matter, or something you really want to address at your school. So I'm going to ask you just for 3 minutes to have a conversation in your table groups, to share with one another what really interests you about this topic of C-learning, and what do you hope to learn over the next few days that you can take back with you to your school from this workshop. Okay? Do you want to also say anything about it, perhaps? My instruction.
di tamang motivation ne na so decision of so say that the literature some sem number la to da mas se wo ji ken ji ga ne si learning number la che ko kan is to be re che ko to be re se wo ji ken be to ne da di ni ma si che pa lo be ra di ta ma so si learning se di ji ke to da sem se wo ji ken yo ji ga ni pa ta che ko group be da so ji lu che na ji sem be to ne di ni pe lo de za ma sem de ding sui sem cha ji de ba na ba do ta si learning ji mo de che ko sem de ba mo na de ba shu chu ji ke tu bia di ta ma ji mi yu cha de ba ta na ma ju de pe de za ma la si learning ko la de ji shen jang bo sam cha ni de ba yu de ne yo re ba so ma ju ta de ru ga su na mo sa so ke su na ba ju chu du na ni de la pe ne ra ma de ji shen de yu se be ta ka su de ba ha ri ba di ni mo de na ma ji ken so
이 부분에는 여러분을 모셔라
Wonderful. Okay, so what we'd like to do, we're not going to hear from every table group because we have tea break in 5 minutes. So just hear a few points, something that came out of your table group, maybe one learning goal, and I'm sure a lot of people will have that in common. So would anyone like to share a learning goal that was mentioned in your table group?
Okay, on behalf of my group, we have 2 points. One is a question, and another one is all of us, we are very interested to learn new techniques and methodologies when we interact with the students. And there are different levels of students. Some are like primary school, some are like kindergarten levels. So there could be different types of hands-on activities. So we are very interested to learn all of them from you. And there is another one that is a question.
Sure.
The question is, actually this question is not criticizing you, because C-learning learning was launched a couple of years ago, I think maybe last year or at that time, His Holiness the Dalai Lama has given interview to the Radio for Free Asia. At that time, His Holiness the Dalai Lama openly and publicly mentioned that C-learning or the practice of secular, I think is not necessary for the Tibetan society. If that is genuinely true, whatever he has mentioned, then why we are gathered here? Okay, why like Department of Education for the cities and this like University and Drury University, why we are giving so importance to these programs? This is what we want to know something from you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. We always appreciate questions, especially ones that other people might be thinking. Should we address that after tea break, or do you want to? Okay, after tea break we will address that. Thank you. Anyone else like to share out from your table group? Some things you'd like to learn?
As an educator, sometimes we ourselves don't know how to navigate or channelize our feeling while discussing something with the students. So yeah, that's with this workshop I want to find methods or techniques to how to channelize while discussing or channelizing my feeling or my emotions while discussing with the students.
Fantastic. So I'll tell you right now one short thing about that. All of the strategies which we are teaching in this workshop can be used for yourself and they can be used for students. And they're actually all the same strategies. And they work for all of us because we're all humans. And we use a scientific basis about our understanding of the body and the mind and emotions to develop these strategies. So we can actually all apply them. So I love it that you're already thinking about how to use it for yourself as well as for your students. Thank you.
From our group, we had a good discussions on whether we have got any kind of this kind of workshop or not, and then many of us wants more such workshops in future as well. But at this time, our learning goal is exactly what others said. That is teaching strategies or the pedagogy for C learning is most important part, because since the secular focus on the secular has been started a couple of years ago, and at the beginning many of the teacher has kind of confusion that what should be the method and how should we teach, example like kindness to small children. So that's why I really want to know more of these strategies
appreciate that. Do we want to hear one more at your table to write those questions down? And we will be collecting them from time to time so we can address questions that come up. We find that sometimes there's very similar questions that we get, and if we can collect them together, then we can group them, and answer those questions as we go along. Keep in mind for yourself your own learning objective for being here. And we'll ask you to keep checking in with that as we go along every day. Okay? All right, so this is just the beginning, and we're excited to do more, but right now, first we're giving you tea break. Is my watch right? Is it around 10 after 10? About? Okay, so should we come back at 10:40? Okay, so we're going to do about a 30-minute tea break. 10:40, we will get started again, so please come back up here and then time.